Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 47 of Skeptalk Live. We did it. We made it to number 47. We're back after our little break. Let's see. Looks like we got a couple of people here. How's everybody doing? The sound coming through for everybody. Oh, gamer.
Damn, son.
I appreciate that support very, very much. We are on a roll here, taking over the world. See what we've got going on. I'm your host, Udo, for those of you who have never seen this before. Usually there are a couple of other hosts with me, but real life situations got in everybody's way today, so we are rolling solo today. Let's see what we've got on the news docket here. Love that intro. Play it any chance I get. What do we got going on today? If I bring up the slideshow here. Oh yeah, the important part. This is a fair use talk show / podcast. So whatever we're going to be doing today is likely going to be covered under criticism, parody, and news report. So when you see some content and you think that you're going to report us for us, think again, sucker. Let's see what we got going on today. I realized I got the chat in half a window. I need to have the other part in half a window too. There we go. All right, as always, if you're interested in helping support the show, here is a link that will help you do so. All you gotta do is just hit that link and it'll automatically format a tweet for you to send out to show to everybody that you are watching the greatest talk show on Twitch. But our first story is about a little town in a Dutch village called Jelsum, right? And they just installed a road there that is driving everyone absolutely insane. Created by the strategically laid rumble strips as a way of livening up journeys across the flat landscape, the novelty is worn very thin for locals who say the constant droning melody is driving them absolutely mad. The tune is created when the car drives over the strips, which are usually deployed to the side of major roads to warn drivers that they are straying off course. If hit at the correct speed, the 60-kilometer speed limit, the road will then sing out the anthem of the Friesland region, a northern part of the Netherlands that has a distinct language and culture. But it is very loud and the sound travels. And locals say that music has created a never-ending cacophony that keeps them awake at night. Last Saturday night, the taxis were driving from Leeuwarden, I think, maybe, to Steins. And on the way back, they tried to go across the lines as quickly as possible, and we had the anthem played all night at a high speed, said local residents. So I've got a video of this going on. Let me play it for you guys. It's kind of hard to hear with all of the droning noises of the car, but I imagine it's much louder. I would be laying down some spike strips, if you know what I'm saying. That sounds absolutely terrible. Especially since if people are going at different speeds, some song that you're trying to like, if you get it stuck in your head, right? It should have been built somewhere not populated. Yeah, definitely not next to a bunch of farmhouses or where people are living, right? Let's see. Don't trust mattress firm. I just saw the second part of your message. I saw the first part, but the second part, I didn't see that till now. But yeah, never trust mattress firm. All right, our next story. 8 Argentinian police officers have been dismissed after claiming that more than a half a ton of marijuana, which disappeared from a police warehouse, was eaten by mice. The disappearance of the drug was discovered during an inspection of a police warehouse for impounded drugs in the town of Pilar, 60 kilometers outside of the capital city of Buenos Aires. The cannabis had been stored there for 2 years, but the 6,000 kilograms that had been registered, only 5,460 kilograms were found. Suspicion fell on the city's former police commissioner Javier Specia, who had left the inventory for the impounded marijuana unsigned when he left his post in 2017. That's a lot of pack of rats, right? Yeah, these mice are probably pretty fucking high. Gamer News Party says, and the mouse took my lighter too. Correct. Suspicion fell. His replacement, Commissioner Emilio Portero, noticed the shortfall and notified the force's Internal Affairs Division, who inspected the warehouse. Called before Judge Adrian Gonzalez Chavare, Specchio and 3 of his subordinates all offered the same explanation. The missing narcotics had been eaten by mice. The forensic experts said to the court that they doubted even a large number of rodents could have eaten such a large amount of marijuana. Buenos Aires University experts have explained that mice wouldn't mistake the drug for food, and then if a large group of mice had eaten it, a lot of mouse corpses would have been found in that warehouse. 4 of the police officers have been called to testify before the judge on May 4th. The judge will seek to determine if the missing marijuana was the result of expedience or negligence. Gamer News Party says there's probably roaches, honestly. Willis Wonder says, damn roaches getting baked, right? Specchia also faces an internal police investigation into why he has not yet presented his sworn income statement for 2017, and it's probably because it's real damn padded with lots of marijuana sales. All right, here's a story that it would really suck to have happen to you, but I mean, I think they'd learn eventually. So, speed cameras. They've dipped below the surface of the news cycle, yet programs often remain a nuisance. New Orleans resident Donald Schultz provided examples of a municipal malfeasance. A speed camera that was issued has issued 10 speeding citations since 2011 to his Nissan Frontier that is parked in front of his house. A car doing more than 35 miles an hour of the limit of the area triggers the camera, and the camera then reads the stationary Frontier license plate instead of the one on the speeding vehicle almost every time. The issue has been a 7-year hassle for Schultz because he has to go to City Hall to get his ticket overturned every time. It got so bad that years ago, he was given a telephone number to a person just in case it happened again. So if he called them directly, he didn't have to go all the way down there. The problem ended for a time. In 2016, a contractor repositioned the camera away from Schultz's car, but then city workers moved it back to the original position at the end of last month. Since that, in the month of April, he has received 2 new citations, the most recent one due to a speeding New Orleans Police Department vehicle. Just put a box in front of it, right? I would definitely cover my license plate. I mean, I don't know if you have to actually have your license plate visible when you're not driving, right? Gotta put, like, that seems like it would be the best thing. This situation bolsters the arguments that speed camera traps aren't about safety, they're about money. The city told WWL-TV that each citation must be approved by a technician and then by an NOPD officer, meaning 2 pairs of eyes have repeatedly ignored the details on the citation. New Orleans officials say they won't move that camera, but the contractor that handles the tickets will have its employees properly trained to manage the data that it receives from the camera. If it were in front of the mayor's house, he'd take care of it, says Schultz. New Orleans is dealing with a number of traffic camera issues, including a recent judgment ordering the city to repay $25.6 million to more than 200,000 residents cited by red light cameras. The city's new mayor first pledged during her campaign to shut the entire program down until officials proved safety was a motivating factor behind the cameras. But yeah, that would be absolutely terrible. I'd be so pissed. I don't know. I mean, I definitely, like, get a bumper sticker on the back of my car that says, "This car is fucking parked," or something, right? All right, next. This is something we've talked about on Skeptalk Live quite a few times, right? And it seems that no one's paying attention. This will also be pretty funny for some of you out there in the chat right now. A crime predicting AI isn't science fiction. It's about to roll out in India. Artificial intelligence programs promising to do everything from predicting the weather to piloting autonomous cars. Now, AI is being applied to video surveillance systems, promising to thwart criminal activity, not by detecting crimes in progress, but by identifying a crime before it happens. This sounds like a good idea. The goal is to prevent such violence as sexual assaults, but could be admirable mentions turned to minority-style or pre-crime nightmares. Yeah, Watch Dogs IRL. Exactly. Such a possibility may seem like the plotline from an episode of Black Mirror, but it's no longer the stuff of science fiction. Corticia, an Israeli company with deep roots in security and AI research, recently formed a partnership with in India with the Best Group. To imagine fuck that company. They called themselves the Best Group. No. They're analyzing the terabytes of data streaming from CCTV cameras in public areas. One of the goals is to improve safety in public places such as city streets, bus stops, and train stations. Yeah, Minority Report specifically. It's already common for law enforcement in cities like London and New York to employ a facial recognition and license plate matching as part of their video camera surveillance, but Corticia's AI promises to take it much further by looking for behavioral anomalies that signal someone is about to commit a violent crime. That sounds so fucking fishy, dude. You have some guy who like hurt his back or whatever, and he's gonna look like he's hunched over and he's creeping behind somebody, and they're just gonna tackle him and hurt him. The software is based on the type of military and government security screening systems that that try to identify terrorists by monitoring people in real time, looking for so-called micro expressions, minuscule twitches or mannerisms that can belie a person's nefarious intentions. Such telltale signs are so small they can elude an experienced detective, but not the unblinking eye of an AI. What parameters could possibly justify you're going to be a murderer in an hour, right? Yeah, well, you don't know, but you have these microaggressions where you're about to murder someone, so you twitch. I mean, not even cops can detect it, but AI can. A meeting in Tel Aviv before the deal was announced, co-founder and COO Karina Ordanev explained that Corticia's software is intended to address challenges in identifying objects that aren't easily classified according to traditional stereotypes. One example Ordanev described involves such corner cases, such as a bed falling off of a truck on the highway, that are encountered in driving situations. Precisely the sort of unique events that the programs controlling autonomous cars will have to handle in the future. For that, you need unsupervised learning. Did she say Cortana? Well, close. The name of the company developing the AI is Corticia. I think, yeah, Cortica, Corticia, or Corticia, one of the two. Not exactly sure. But yeah, So it seems like nobody's listening to old Skeptalk Live telling everybody quit putting AI in charge. All right. Our next story is the concrete jungle. A New York daily exposure to the animal kingdom consists of mainly pigeons and rats, so perhaps a mistake like Thursday's can be forgiven. I forgot to... never mind. We'll just move on with that one. It was before 8 a.m. when police said several callers to 911 reported spotting a tiger in the street near West 162 Street and 162 Street, sorry, and St. Nicholas Avenue in the Washington Heights neighborhood. The NYPD's emergency service unit was called, but the animal the police safely caught turned out to be... What do you guys want to guess? What did they think was the tiger? Willis Wonder says, I learned that from fact this weekend. Correct. It was a bag in a tree, a dog. Curry Sauce says it was Ramo. Angry Cicada says a large dog. You guys aren't nearing it yet. It's much dumber than that. What do you think is a wild animal to New York? An alligator. A kitty. Animal care centers of New York took custody of the large raccoon from the NYPD and put it down. The law requires it. The raccoon was brought to our facility and was euthanized as required by law for all vector species animals brought into the shelter. Raccoons, bats, and skunks are classified as rabies vector species, which means it's an animal that can carry and transmit rabies. Let me look. Do. Celebrity Insider says he's okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on that. Slow stroking. Do we have pics? How big was it? No, it just said a large raccoon, which would, yeah, a wild tiger. How many steroids did a raccoon find to be mistaken for a tiger? Correct. Knockoff Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character, very possibly. But yeah, the concrete jungle is apparently able to mistake raccoons for tigers. They didn't have a picture of the raccoon, but it was at least a couple of calls. Where did it say? Several callers called into 911 spotting a tiger at West 162nd Street and St. Nicholas Avenue in New York. So the concrete jungle has apparently never seen a raccoon. In some science research news today, a new study has found that this is fucking disgusting. So, they found a dirty little secret about hand dryers found in many public restrooms. Researchers say the machine, which is designed to blow hot air on you, are actually just sucking up feces particles and spraying them onto your hands. The report published in an applied, and I've seen a lot of stuff before about how, you know, there's like, you know, germs inside of it and it blows them onto you. But the deal is it also just sucks shit out of the air and blows it onto your hands. The report, published in an applied environmental microbiology, found that air blasted out from the hand drying nozzles contained far more bacteria than normal bathroom air. As many as 60 different bacterial colonies can be blown out of the machine in just one 30-second drying. The more air you move, the more bacteria stick. and there is a lot of bacteria in the bathrooms. The study examined 36 bathrooms in the University of Connecticut School of Medicine, testing each machine during a single drying session. Several of the samples contained Staphylococcus aureus, common bacteria found in the body and sometimes linked to serious infections. There's some more information in this article other than that I wanted to share with you guys. There's something about a toilet plume. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, it's just a fan. It sucks particles and blows them out. Laws of conservation of mass. For air to come out, it has to go in. Yeah, exactly. I mean... Okay. Other bathroom studies have theorized that the particles originating from what's called a toilet plume, which can spray feces and other germs up to 15 feet in the air during a toilet flush. UConn School of Medicine has already begun to trade in the bacteria spreading dryers for regular paper towels, and scientists recommend closing the lid before you flush a toilet or you will spread poop everywhere. I didn't ever even think of the toilet plume. Close the lid, you monsters. Well, we won't stop using the Dyson ones because fuck, those are cool. Is that the ones with like the hand air blade thing? All right, here's a story. Fuck, this one bothered me. All right. A Victoria, British Columbia naturopath is facing a storm of online criticism after she posted an article claiming she treated a 4-year-old boy's aggression and behavioral problems with a remedy made from rabid dog saliva. Dr. Ann K. Zimmerman, who has been in practice for 26 years, posted in February that it was a very interesting case. Willis Wonder says, plus these never actually get your hands dry, so the shit is getting sprayed onto your damp hands and you can hold the shit all the better. Yeah, it's terrible. Why are some kids so aggressive? Maybe they were bitten by a dog. This 4-year-old boy with sleep and behavioral problems, including aggression and violence towards schoolmates, as well as hiding under tables and growling, improved dramatically after being treated with a remedy made from a rabid dog's saliva. Zimmerman wrote in a Facebook post that linked to the article about the case. In her article, Zimmerman concludes that the boy was obviously in a dog state. Zimmerman wrote on her website that when she first met the boy, Jonah had issues falling asleep, partly because he was afraid of werewolves. He was also afraid of a wolf puppet Zimmerman had in her office, she noted. At school, Jonah would hide under the table and growl at people. At this point, I asked his mother if Jonah had ever been bitten by a dog. Indeed, the answer was yes. He was bitten when he was 2 years old by a dog on a beach. The dog bit his hand because he wanted the food Jonah had. The bite broke the skin, she wrote. Zimmerman also noted that Jonah breathes in a loud way, and in a history taken from his mother, noted that he likes meat, especially hamburgers, hot dogs, and red meat and meatballs. Jonah's mother also told her that the boy doesn't like to be cuddled, but will come up to me and sniff me. I decided to give him a homeopathic remedy made from rabies. The dog who bit him may have recently been vaccinated with the rabies vaccine, or the dog bite in itself may have affected the boy with the rabies miasm. Miasm sounds like a made-up word. I want to make sure that that's not a real thing. Hold on. I know miasma, but not miasm. Oh, it's a homeopathic term specifically. Any of the 3 underlying chronic diseases that afflict mankind: psychosis, syphilis, and pysora. So nonsense. No, Angry Cicada. He is obviously a dog. Fucking homeopathy bothers me a bunch. So they fed this kid rabies, right? So in order to fix this problem, they used the homeopathic method of giving him rabies. She administered the boy Linicium 200-CH 2 pellets, she wrote. He was treated again 3 weeks later, and a few months after that, Jonah improved significantly after his treatment, and he was no longer hiding under tables or afraid of werewolves. Could have been that he grew up a little bit, right? The way I see it, he's coming back into a more human state from a slightly rabid dog state. The online reaction to Zimmerman's post has ranged from anger to wondering how this could even be real. And why is anyone named Zimmerman just so weird? So rabies is the new ADHD, Curry says. Right? All right, a lot of people have seen this story. The state child advocate said Friday that the failure of Montville schools to officials to report that a substitute teacher was encouraging students to hit each other in a series of timed one-on-one fights in a math class last year is egregious. Sarah Healy Egan said she is following up with the state Department of Child and Families to find out how they are handling the school district's apparent failure to follow the mandated reporters law. School employees are among the many professionals who are required to report suspected child abuse. It should have been a priority to make sure that authorities are contacted and that families were in the know about what was occurring. Right, Willis Wonder, rule number 1, correct. The superintendent of the school said that in a written statement, the school system took immediate action by firing the teacher, calling it so-called student slapping and horseplay, he said, at the time. But based on the initial video that was viewed and the information that was provided, I didn't feel this was a law enforcement matter. Had I known then what I know now, yes, I would have contacted the police. Levesque also said no one was injured, although a warrant for this former sub's arrest said one student suffered a bloody nose, a second began vomiting during a fight, and a third suffered signs of emotional trauma. There is a video, but I can't show it on Twitch, unfortunately, because, I mean, I understand why Twitch wouldn't. I mean, it would be good content, but it's not Twitch appropriate content. So yeah, just go look up Kindergarten Fight Club. I'm pretty sure you'll find it. The former substitute teacher, Ryan Fish, 23 of South Road in Broza, couldn't be reached for comment by Friday morning. A woman who picked up the phone said he was sleeping and hung up. The investigation, or the interviews, when interviewed by investigators, Fish told police, "I'm an idiot," who just wanted to be friends with the students, according to the warrant for his arrest. He was arrested Thursday and charged with 4 counts of second-degree reckless endangerment, 2 counts of risk of injury to a minor, and 1 count of breach of the peace. Yeah. Sounds like an anime, right? Toddler Fight Club. Oh no, it wasn't toddlers. It was boys ranging from 14 to 16 that were involved. In interviews with police, Fish said that the fight started in September and that he thinks that there were 4, according to the warrant for his arrest. Police said they have evidence of students' cell phone videos of 2 of them. "I would let them be teenagers and get their energy out," Fish told investigators. According to the warrant, he added, "I will admit that I did at one point egg them on." After Ben 10, Ben 2, or whatever, Kindergarten Fight Club would be not weird at all. I don't know what Bento is, or Ben 2. What a dickhole. Correct. Quite a dickhole. The boys who squared off seemed unevenly matched, with one much smaller than the other. Some of the boys involved were not students in Fish's math class, the warrant says. According to the warrant, a social worker and juvenile court liaison with the State Department of Children and Families alerted police on December 14th to a student who showed up in court with a real and identifiable system of being traumatized. The boy, whom police called Victim 1, reported that he had been robbed and beaten at Montville High by other students. He was taken to the William W. Backus Hospital in Norwich for a mental evaluation. The next day, the school resource office talked to the assistant principal and learned that the school system had known about a fight club since October 10th. So this has happened a long time ago, but this is just now coming out. Willis Wonder says Bento is a anime about high schoolers who go to convenience stores, and when discount stickers got put on bentos, Japanese lunchboxes, they would go into an all-out brawl to get the bentos for cheap food. Huh, okay, I'd watch it, 100%. I mean, Prince of Tennis was fucking fun, so I don't see why that wouldn't be fun. All right, so we've covered astronauts eating their own poop. We've covered astronauts turning their poop into tools. But now NASA wants to shoot human sperm into space. With the new experiment, the U.S. Space Agency wants to research how human sperm cells react to microgravity. Gamer News Party says, I had a high school teacher who got fired because he had a hookah in the closet and he smoked with the stoners and he got fired, but cool dude. Willis Wonder asks if NASA's seen Alien or Leprechaun 5, Leprechaun in Space. Or is it 3? Can't remember. Whichever one with the shake hands with the big man, baby. For research project Micro 11, NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is now sending frozen samples of human sperm into space. As we plan to travel beyond the space station with thoughts of colonization on the moon and Mars and other heavenly bodies, the question of whether or not a multi-generational survival can occur, not only in animals, but in humans, is a very fundamental question that needs to be addressed. Joseph Tash, a researcher at the University of Kansas Medical Center who will examine the sperm upon its return to Earth, said, what a job. If regular human reproduction doesn't work in space, humanity might have to take several special measures. Otherwise, things aren't looking too promising for long-term Mars colonization. In mammals, including human, fertilization occurs when the sperm swims towards the egg cell. For this to happen, though, the sperm must be activated, otherwise it won't get moving at all. Next, the sperm cell has to pick up speed and be able to fuse with the egg cell, and the sperm cell membrane has to become more fluid. Previous experiments in space with bull or sea urchin sperm showed that while the sperm was activated faster with microgravity, the subsequent steps happened slower or not at all. That does not bode well for potential space babies. For the Micro 11 experiment, astronauts on the ISS will thaw the sperm samples and mix them with chemicals that trigger activation of sperm movement and preparation for fusing with an egg, according to NASA's press release. Then they'll assess how well the sperm cells move. Finally, Tash and other researchers back on Earth will examine whether sperm went through all the necessary steps for fertilization or how it looks different from sperm cells that didn't take a trip to space. In other news, male astronauts are bummed about the misread memo. Yeah, very much so. Many other kinds have been examined before. Frogs, salamanders, snails, and aquatic invertebrate animals have gone through successful breeding in space, all under the watchful eye of astronauts, of course. So I did not know one of your jobs as an astronaut was to watch snails fuck. They're looking for volunteers to fuck in space because I'm totally down for zero gravity sex. I'm right there with you. The entire Skeptalk live audience would like to volunteer. If you believe that humanity's future will not be based on Earth or will be only partly based on Earth, then the Micro 11 experiment is of crucial importance. It's a slow job to watch the snails, right? Worst porn ever. All right, here's a risky story. I think we're gonna make it through though, because I did a really good job at censoring this. All right. Can you guys tell what that is? It's censored to hell and back. Willis Wonder says bondage, not because I'm kinky, but so you don't float away. Yeah, exactly. Hey, best of both worlds, man. Safety and kink. I don't doubt you can conceive in space, but I don't think you can develop a child. All right, that's true. So, a 5-story high depiction of an erect blue dinkle on a Stockholm apartment building is going to be painted over just a week after its unveiling, following a storm of complaints from neighbors. The company that owns the block, Atrium Lundberg, told... This is going to be really bad, really hard, because... all right. Atrium Lundberg told Aftonbladet. It's 7 pixels wide. Oh, for those of you who don't know, right now, if you have Twitch Prime, bits are on sale. So in case you didn't know, your first, as a Prime member, you can buy 500 bits for 99 cents. Willis Wonder says, I wouldn't file a complaint. I would just send them a mail asking why. Correct. The company that owns the block told the people who reported this story originally, it had seen the work by the artist Carolina Fockholt for the first time on Wednesday morning, along with other residents of the Swedish capital's central Kungsholmen Island. Culture and art are important in developing interesting urban environments. Camila Clement, the company's marketing manager, told the paper, of course we care about artistic freedom, but at the same time, we must respect our neighbors' opinions. Klim said that the work would stay up for a short while, so everyone interested could experience it, although some people had welcomed the dinkle as an important part of the debate about sexuality, body, and gender. Others, especially neighbors, had received it less well and perceived it as offensive. Atrium Lundberg has allowed a collective of local artists, Kollektivet Livet, that's Kollektivet Livet, free reign to decorate the apartment block wall as it sees fit since 2008. The murals usually stay in place for at least 6 months before a new one is commissioned. Fockholt said that at the unveiling that she had hoped her blue dinkle would be better received in Stockholm than a similar pink one that appeared on the side of an apartment building in Manhattan's Lower East Side in December. The New York work was painted over within 3 days instead of its intended 3 weeks after similar complaints from locals. Oh, Gris says forgot to sub. Well, what? I mean, it's always time. Gamer News Party says, I kind of hope it gets painted over with a bigger, poorlier made dinkle. Right? That'd be awesome. Yeah, we covered it up with one with extra veins. I think perhaps it will be allowed to remain here. People will get the message to let it take its place in the debate, she said. I think there's more to intellectual space than discussed in the subject in a nuanced way. I'm gonna skip past random rap song on Pretzel here. We're gonna go to some more just music, right? She said she liked to think, oh crap, that story is amazing too. She liked to think of Stockholm painting titled Fuck the World as a reincarnation. Fockholt could not be reached for comment.
Damn, son.
Damn, son. Just turn into a cat or a mushroom. Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. All right. Speaking of mushrooms, this next story, a very angry badger has forced parts of Scotland's historic Craigthagen castle to close, and staff have been trying to lure the creature out of the castle with cat food and honey. The castle has withstood war, but it was never ready for this. It's a 16th century Scottish fortress, which once thrived amid war, attack, and treason, but now parts of Craigthagen Castle have been abandoned because of a somewhat different invader, a very angry badger. Lord Trump is Bay, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm a lot quieter than my sound effects. Let me see if I can fix that here real quick. Does that sound any better? I turned the volume up quite a bit. Just let me know. Historic Scotland was forced to shut down tunnels which are popular with the staff, or with the public, after staff discovered the unexpected guest. If you're heading to Craigthagen Castle over the next few days, you might find the cellar tunnel closed due to the presence of a very angry badger, the organization tweeted. We're here to we're trying to entice it out with cat food and send it home. It did not elaborate on why the badger was angry, but it thought the animal may live in the surrounding woodland and may have become lost. Staff first spotted some dugout earth and saw the badger after closer inspection, and they've been trying to lure it out with cat food and honey. The animal is said to have caused a mess digging through the loose soil into stonework. The castle, managed by Historic Environments in Scotland, which was built around 1530, has a tower house, ramparts, a caponniere, which is a stone vaulted shooting gallery, and a badger. Extra clout points if you understand where the title's from. It also means you're kind of old like me. All right, before we move on to the next one, content warning. This may make you not, if you're eating right now, stop. You can continue eating after this next story. A North Carolina restaurant has conjured up a rather creepy creation available to a few lucky customers in the form of a tarantula-topped burger. The arachnophobe's nightmare is the brainchild of Durham Bull City Burger and Brewery as part of their annual Exotic Meats Month. Gamer's Party's trigger. Angry Cicada says no. The rotating menu features a variety of interesting selections such as rabbit, python, and camel, but the spider burger has taken the festivities by storm. Aside from the sheer outrageousness of the meal, the tarantula-topped burger is also something of a rarity in the restaurant and is only serving one per day. Whoops. Only serving one per day. Customers looking for the chance to chow down on the 8-legged oddity must enter a raffle, and should their number be pulled, they are given a mere 48 hours to claim their spot at the spider table. Provided they eat the entire burger, which sells for $30, the daring diner will receive a commemorative t-shirt celebrating their feast, and also have to endlessly answer the question of what the tarantula tastes like. To that, those who have picked up the gourmet gauntlet say that it resembles some kind of shellfish, which could be better than tasting like chicken. Willis Wonder is more upset at the slaughter of tarantulas. It died of natural causes. Rabbit, python, and camel I'll eat, but fuck that, yeah. I myself am, when it comes to something that was alive, am pretty fearless. I would totally eat this. But Angry Cicada wouldn't let me, so that's basically where we sit. Gamer Juice Party says, burn it, set it to well done times 10. Alright. Alright, this story made me rather interested when I saw the headlines here. Angry Cicada says, like hell you would. That's what I said, you wouldn't let me. Hackers are increasingly targeting the Internet of Things devices to access corporate systems, using things like CCTV cameras or air conditioning units, according to the CEO of a cybersecurity firm. The Internet of Things refers to the devices that hooked up to the internet, and has expanded to include everything from household appliances to widgets in power plants. Journeyman Bader, welcome to the screen. Nicole Egan, the CEO of Darktrace, told the WSJ CEO Council conference in London on Thursday, there's a lot of Internet of Things devices. Everything from thermostats, refrigeration systems, HVAC systems, and to people who bring in their Alexa devices into the offices. There's just a lot of Internet of Things. It expands the attack surface, and most of this isn't covered by traditional defenses. The one memorable anecdote about the case Darktrace worked on, in which a casino was hacked by a thermometer in the aquarium in the lobby. The attackers used that to get a foothold in the network. They then found the high roller database and pulled that back across the network, out through the thermostat and up to the cloud. Robert Hannigan, who ran the British government's digital spying agency, Government Communications Headquarters from 2014 to 2017, appeared alongside Egan in the panel and agreed that hackers targeting an Internet of Things of devices was a growing problem for companies. So, yeah, just the fact that all of those things you've got in your house that connect to the internet could be used to get your dick pics and send them unsolicited to people. All right, now we've got a story about a tiger. Indianapolis, firefighters at Wayne Township Station opened the door early Friday morning to find a one-of-a-kind request for help. A frantic woman distressed because her pet raccoon was stoned off too much weed. The raccoon, according to Wayne Township Fire Department PIO Captain Michael Pruitt, had been exposed to too much of someone else's marijuana, and its owners were worried that it was overdosing. Not knowing what to do, they brought it to Station 82. Most dick pics are sent unsolicited anyway. Yeah. Gamer News Party says Indian Cottontail wants your dinkle pics. Right. Unsolicited. Oh, okay, Cortana. Man Bear Pig says, lol, fuck yes, right? The raccoon was very lethargic, Pruitt said. She started explaining what happened, and there wasn't really much we could do. It was just a sort of thing that was going to take time. Recordings of the Southwest District's radio chatter show the raccoon had IMPD officers baffled as well. At first, they were simply trying to figure out what substance the raccoon was in fact high on. Apparently, they have a pet raccoon, and they got into their meth. An unidentified officer is logged as saying at 3:57 a.m. Listening to the audio of the police decipher the situation, you can hear, a minute later, dispatchers are attempting to clarify, "Sir, Speedway doesn't have anything, but the fire did call across from the hall and say that it was a raccoon that overdosed on somebody's heroin." 30 seconds later, the Southwest District officer radios in that he is sitting at the firehouse and sees no sign of a raccoon in distress. He said, "I'm sitting at one of the firehouses. No pet raccoons are overdosing here." To which it was replied, "Well, if they show up, you Narcan them." And then the officer replied with, "Way too weird. I'm leaving." And the other officer said, "Ted 4." Ultimately, Pruitt said the raccoon owners took the animal home to sleep while it's high. "We hope everything worked out with the raccoon," Pruitt said. "We'd be sad to hear that it didn't." Raccoon, trash panda, tiger, right? Man, Bear Pig says, "What a lightweight." Willis Wonder says, "This would take so many squares of Florida Man bingo." Oh, yeah, exactly. Put it in the trunk tank. All right. Another story about how they're not listening to Skeptalk Live. There's an AI running for mayor in Tama City, Tokyo. for residents of the painfully small West Tokyo area of Tama City, there's been a recent storm of chatter surrounding the upcoming mayoral election. This isn't without good reason, of course. You see, the current nominee, Mushito Masuda, happens to earn the most votes during this election. Or if the current nominee, Mashido Masuda, happens to earn the most votes during the election, that would make them the world's first AI mayor, ushering in a new wave of possibilities for the district. Talking with someone who actually lives in the Tama area, if you ask any foreigner living in Japan what their least favorite time of the year is, chances are they'll tell you it's the local election season. Right, the I in AI actually stands for Illuminati. There's a time of the year where the desperate candidates and potential mayors to be drive around in their obnoxious white vans with megaphones attached and screaming in your vicinity why you should vote for them the most. There are these times that I dread leaving my house the most, so imagine my surprise when passing the local electoral signboard when I noticed that one of the electives... Willis Wonder, thank you very much for those 100 bits. I will use them to help vote for our AI overlords. There are times... Okay. But rather, instead of a smug person at least 10 times my age, it was a robot. Not just any robot either, but was a full-fledged AI that was running to become the mayor of my district. The artificial intelligence, which has been dubbed under the name of Mishihito Matsuda, seems to operate by a simple slogan: artificial intelligence will change Tama City. In an effort to offer fair and balanced opportunities for everyone, the potential AI mayor can be broken down into 3 main selling points. AI Mashido Masuda offers the ability to discover and analyze relevant petitions pertaining to Tama City, as well as to break down the positives and negatives of statistically dictate which would be positive or negative effects. And then intake the dialogue and wishes of residents, carefully calculating the best way to implement them and what would best match the people's desires. And 3, find level compromise in common interest conflicts among the people of Tama City. Analyzing the policies of potential AI mayor, we're met with a number of changes that would see artificial intelligence greater implemented into the everyday lives. So, yeah. It is a possibility, and I'll be keeping watch on this, that the first AI mayor may get voted in. The most honest politician you'll ever meet. My only problem is that there's a team of programmers behind this, and you have to make sure that those dudes are not pieces of shit. Otherwise, you'll end up with everybody, with the AI being a piece of shit. If you assumed that artificial intelligence couldn't run for mayor, you're absolutely not wrong. That just happens to be where things get truly interesting. The 2-person team pushing Mishihito Matsuda consists of both Tetsutsu Matsumoto and the vice president of the mobile provider SoftBank and the former Google Japan representative Norio Marumakami. Standing at the forefront of this all, however, it is Mashido Matsuda. For someone who is extremely interested in seeing further technological integration into human activity, it's quite disappointing to see the poor online management of the campaign. Take, for example, the official website, where you'll find a mishmash of poorly placed together images and coding to create a barely passable layout. Apparently they're not doing it all that well, but they are the most popular candidate, so that seems good. If that gets elected, can we make petitions for that city? Yes. We totally can, because it'll apparently be looking for them. All right. Now we've all gone out drinking before and had a rough night, but here is a hell of a doozy. A drunk tourist that had a very rough night after he got lost on his way back from his hotel found himself climbing among the Italian Alps. An Estonian tourist known as Pavel has been enjoying a few drinks at Cervinia, a resort in the Italy's Valle d'Aosta, when he decided to call it a night and head back to his hotel. However, it seemed that Pavel, 30, may have had a bit more to drink than he thought, as his short walk back to his room soon turned into a mountain hike. According to Italian newspaper La Stampa, Pavel seemed not to notice that he had taken a wrong turn and was heading up the mountainside until it was far too late. Pavel finally found refuge after stumbling across a closed bar, which is specifically this bar that is right here. By the time that 2 a.m. rolled around, Pavel was still climbing. He realized he had made a grave mistake, but through sheer luck, he stumbled across a closed restaurant and bar. The bar, named the Igloo, was nestled in a mountainside at an altitude of 2,400 meters, and seeing that his only refuge, the tipsy tourist, forced his way in and bunkered down for the night. Staff discovered Pavel in the morning, passed out on a makeshift bed made out of a bench and a few cushions. Igloo is situated at an altitude of 2,400 meters. Being responsible guy that he is, Pavel made sure that he drank 2 bottles of water to help with his hangover the next morning, which were sitting beside him when he was found. A search party made out of fire brigade, police, and drones had been dispatched to locate the tourist before he was found and safe and sound in the bar. Local police have said that he will be fined for his drunken escapade, but he will not be charged. I thought I climbed enough mountains at the Everclear sorority party. Gamer News Party asks, do you ever get so wasted you end up climbing up the Alps? Right, exactly. This guy totally managed that. All right. So we're going to move into the fireside chat section of today's episode. Where I'm gonna talk with you guys, because I ain't got any co-hosts to talk with about this. So we're gonna ask these very important questions to you guys. How many ducks would it take to kill a full-grown rhino? You need to know that the ducks have normal intelligence, but they're really pissed off at the rhino and won't run away even if he kills a few. We'll wait here for a couple of answers and read those off. $200 or 1 if it gets creative, Journeyman Bader says. Gamer News Party says 115. Willis Wonder says 57. Angry Skata says 42. Man Bear Pig says, oh god. Man Bear Pig says like 12, maybe 13. Those are some hardcore fucking ducks. Rhino skin's like 4 inches thick. Just... Maybe, I suppose Journeyman Bader has a point. 1 if it like went down the rhino's throat and choked him. I don't know how big of an object a rhino can swallow. Willis Wonder says it takes more than 20. I know that. Angry Cicada says ducks are scary as shit. Willis Wonder points out that the eyeballs aren't thick. All right, let's take a look at our next question. You find a book and begin to read it, only to discover that that book is your life. You get to the point where you are at now. Do you turn the page knowing that you'll never be able to change the events that you're about to read? Gamer News Party says, my thinking is the first 15 will die, but they will blind it first. So it's 100 to take down a blind rhino. Gamer News Party said, or Jeremy Bader says, hell no, life should be a surprise. I couldn't pick better music for a fireside chat. This is some laid back tunes. Gamer News Party says, I don't know. Willis Wonder says, I wouldn't. I don't like horror tragedies. Oh, rough. War in the World just followed me on Twitter. If you're here, thank you very much. Gamer News Party says, can't change it. Correct. You can't change what's going to be written on there. Journeyman Better says, what I would do is shelf it for a while, then sell it as an autobiography. Free money. That's pretty good. I'd like to sell the book without opening it and say, I can predict my future. Coco, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. You joined us for the fireside chat. Right now, we're taking a look at whether or not if you found a book that turned out to be an entire history of your life, including what hasn't happened yet, when you reach the point of now, would you continue reading? Curry Sauce says, I think it would be what my state of mind will be at the time when I get the book. I would be very, very tempted to read ahead. Very tempted. Gamer News Party says, if I can't change it, I don't want to know. But I would be concerned if it was short. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. You can see how long you got. I totally was in Dobby's Discord. If I could change, I would just see if I missed anything good if I got up for a bowl of cereal. That's a good point. I am doing perfectly fine. Coco Mojo doing a solo show today. Everybody else had some important life stuff to do. School, that mostly, but school and work. All right, so here's a question. Who would play you in a movie? And I think that a lot of people, there's been a lot of people who've said this to me before, but Jack Black, right, would play me in a movie. Or would play me in the Udo movie. But how about you guys? Who would play you? Coco Mojo says Will Smith would play me. Winky face. Angry Cicada says that our cat Mishu would play her. Chada says Louis C.K. would play him. I could see that, Chada. Welcome to the stream. Curry Sauce X says Rebel. Who's Rebel? Which Rebel are you referring to? Gamer News Party says, God, I hope Tom Hanks, but probably Cole's spouse. Journeyman Tater says Channing Tatum, because I'm so ridiculously sexy. These are the answers I was hoping for. Rebel pitches, gotcha. The next question is kind of similar, but a little bit more interesting. Taking a look at it, who would you play in a movie? Now this expands it a little bit because the person you're going to be playing doesn't have to be alive right now, and I think I qualify for Rasputin. I could pull off a mean Rasputin. Gamer News Party says, to be fair, if Tom Hanks is playing you, you did something right. Right. Willis Wonder says beat boop. Right. Journeyman Pater says thrift store Thor. Willis Wonder says I would love to play beat boop. Chad says Louis C.K. Right, you could be Louis C.K. in the next movie. Curry Sauce says fuck, I don't know. Angry Cicada says damn straight you would. Who are you referring to there, Cicada? Oh, yeah. I would. Yeah, she's referring to I would play a mean Rasputin. I think so, definitely. All right. And the next one, and final question for our fireside chat. What is the best method to hide a body? Gamer News Party would like to play Churchill. Oh, Churchill's nephew during World War II. I would play a kind Rasputin. Chatter TV says pigs are the best way to hide a body. That's definitely a good westward, or what westward? Blah. It is a good Deadwood style way to get rid of it. Angry Cicada says to eat it. Curry Sauce says feed it to the dogs. Journeyman Invader says caustic soda in a barrel, then bury the barrel. Willis Wonder says cremation plus grinder for the bones. The Gamer News Party says nice try, FBI. You're on to us. We just added a new word to Nightbot, Chatta. That's San Francisco. Oh, why did it stop? There we go. It's because I clicked somewhere else. The fire's got to keep going. It's a fireside chat. All right. Did I even have anything for today? No, fuck no, I didn't. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite part. I'm gonna give you guys that bingo here. Gamer News Party says, but really concrete foundation? Correct. That's a good one. Definitely takes care of that. And for anybody watching this on YouTube later, feel free to answer those questions in the comments. One day we'll catch up with that. All right, so now you all have the bingo link. We can get started on Florida Man Bingo. A man who thought he was being chased Monday broke into an Osceola home and began arming himself with kitchen knives as the residents slept inside. According to the Marion County... This music. Goodness. All right, Coco, you have a good time. According to the Marion County Sheriff's Office, deputies say that it said a woman who lives in the home on Southwest 32nd Court grabbed her gun when she heard noises coming from the living room around 2 a.m. The woman woke to find Eric Russell Miller, 31, in her living room, according to the news release. Authorities said Miller ran from the home when the victim pointed her gun at him. Kitchen knives were found scattered all over the residence, and a stack of change was found on the front patio, according to deputies. As investigators were speaking to the victims, neighbors approached and said that there was a suspicious man nearby. Deputies said that when they went to the location, they found Miller armed with 2 knives. He told authorities that he broke into the home because he thought that people were chasing him, and he left the change on the patio because he thought the coins were making too much noise. Once he broke into the home, Miller said he drank a bottle of water, gathered weapons to protect himself, and removed all of the night lights from the power outlets in order to hide from the people who were chasing him. Deputies said in a news release, Miller was unable to describe the people that he claimed were chasing him. He was arrested on a charge of armed burglary of a dwelling. So yeah, for that one, I know you definitely... conspiracy theory, right? Does this count as meth? Because it sure sounds like meth. I mean, they don't necessarily say what he was on. Educated guesses are perfectly fine for Florida Man Bingo. It's the only kind of education that'll be in this type of story. A new business in downtown Fort Walton Beach has a sharp edge over the competition. The Ratchet Hatchet will offer customers a chance to throw axes at other objects and wooden targets for points. Co-owner Steven Garcia said the venue will allow customers to bring their own beer, liquor, or wine. You come in and it's like a bowling alley, and you get or darts on steroids. You get to use tomahawks, all different types of hatchets and axes that we have, and you get to have a great time. Garcia recommends the space for birthday parties, corporate events, bachelor parties, bridal parties, divorce parties, just to give them a reason to throw a party, he said. Ratchet Hatchet will be hosting a soft opening on May 1st. And you're allowing booze for this, right? Counting this as America. Yeah, that's totally... Chad says allowing yes, serving no. And I think that might be even worse, right? Like you just get to bring in however much alcohol you want. But yeah, this totally counts as Merca. Opening up a business to let people throw axes. That doesn't sound any less American than any more American than I can imagine. So it's super good. The Florida Department of Revenue had 4 hard drives that went missing last month that contained secret information about taxpayers. Millions of Floridians' tax information resided upon the 4 hard drives, but state police say that 21-year-old Andrew Reed found something better to do with the stolen hard drives. On Tuesday, Reed was arrested by Florida Department of Law Enforcement agents who said that they don't believe he ever accessed the only that he sorry, Weightless Wonder clipped that I'm excited. Now I have a good clip to add to a compilation. On Tuesday, Reed was arrested. He never accessed the confidential taxpayer information that was originally kept on the hard drives. Reed indicated he connected the hard drives to his Xbox and downloaded video games onto them without knowing what was on the hard drives. The hard drives were found missing from the Department of Revenue workstations in Tallahassee last month. A department spokeswoman said Reed was an employee of a custodial company that contracts with the state. Police did not say how Reed came across the drives, but he was charged with offenses against intellectual property and offenses against the users of computer systems, both third-degree felonies. We are confident that the information on the drives was not accessed, a department spokeswoman said. As a result of the Department of Revenue's thorough procedures to monitor and maintain equipment, we were able to rapidly identify and report the missing property. So this one might be unusual loot, if anyone's looking for that one. This one might be, I don't know, large amount of money involved. That poor guy just got wrecked. Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm gonna steal a hard drive for Xbox games. Oh shit, third-degree felonies. An Indian River County Sheriff's deputies on March 27th encountered a woman who reported puffing drugs from a pipe positioned in her private parts. Deputies stopped the Dodge Durango traveling east, and it was about 10 p.m., and one of the Dodge's headlights was out. The deputies reported smelling marijuana while they were approaching the vehicle. Investigators reported finding a used syringe with a clear liquid substance. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse from this weekend, so I sound a little bit strained. Oh, she was arrested for trying to pass that off as a good hairstyle. She wants to talk to my manager. Definitely meth. Object in vagina is definitely in here. Gamer's party almost got bingo. There's heroin, right? While Manihan was detained, she advised that she stuffed a tire gauge in her uterus, which she used to smoke crack cocaine out of. The affidavit states, tire gauges are often kept in glove departments as opposed to uteruses. At the jail, Manihan removed the tire gauge from her person, and investigators say it was indeed a crack pipe. The tire gauge had a white substance on it, and that tested positive for cocaine. Manihan of the Vero Beach area was arrested on charges including possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Willis Wonder says all I need is Jesus and prostitutes for a bingo. or a DUI in Walmart. Chad says, I have object in butt. Right. All right. Our next story is an interaction news. Your coworker has done mucked up the gumbo. The seasoning is all wrong. According to one Florida man, what is the best way to handle the situation? Is it 1, a sword battle, 2, a heroin contest, 3, gator wrestling, 4, make the coworker into gumbo, 5, a slap fight for 2 hours, or 6, steal his car and somehow manage to light it on fire? Gamer News Party says a heroin contest. Curry Sauce says steal his car and somehow manage to light it on fire. Journeyman Bader says all of the above. Chada says steal his car. Witless Wonder says I agree with 5, but I'm guessing either 2 or 6. Journeyman says obviously all of the above. All right, gumbo trouble. In Panama City, a seafood vendor employee. I'm not gonna read this to a Final Fantasy song. Hold on, there we go. A seafood vendor employee was convicted Thursday of murder for fatally stabbing a coworker with a decorative sword over gumbo seasoning. Orlando Ricardo Thompson, 27, was found guilty of second-degree murder and charged in the June 2015 death of 33-year-old Caleb Joshua Halley. The evidence in the case has been argued for almost 2 years since an argument erupted over gumbo seasoning behind Buddy's Seafood Market and escalated to the stabbing. Thompson faces life in prison when his sentence on May 4th. Officials said Thompson will have a chance to make his case at his sentencing as to why he should receive a lighter sentence than life. There's an unusual weapon, right? A decorative sword. Journeyman Bader says, oh my lord, Florida's the best. And he was in process for making him into gumbo right before they showed up. Body horror, right? Family members of both men who at one time had been roommates wept in the courtroom. Jurors deliberated for hours. I want to find the information about the incident because, like, people being sad is not what we're looking for here. Haley confronted Thompson about adding spices to the seafood's business gumbo. Posturing, shouting, and shoving ensues when both men armed themselves, Thompson with a 2x4 board and Haley with a pocket knife, before they separated and disarmed. The fight was over at that point. Sombathy told the jury, no one lost face. Everyone had a weapon, but nobody did anything stupid like use it. But that's not where it ends. In the 11 seconds that followed, Thompson ran to a spice closet, grabbed a foot-long sword with knuckle guards, and returned. Sombathy argued the haste with which Thompson returned showed his lack of fear. Also, it demonstrated that Thompson then became the aggressor, Sombathy said. Thompson ran back out. Inside the store, our customers, the manager across the street, the police department, but he's not interested in any of that. When the men tangle for a second time, Haley arms himself with a mop stick against the sword, and then Haley repeatedly striked at Thompson's hand in an attempt to disarm him, but at some point, Haley suffered a stab wound severe enough to expose his intestines. But the video isn't completely clear on what happened afterwards. Curry Sauce says, why was that in the pantry closet? Journeyman Bader says, a foot long, that's a dagger at best. Witless Wonder says 1 foot, that's a fucking dagger, not a sword. Gamer News Party says, I'm just imagining the Anchorman fight scene. Journeyman Bader would like Witless Wonder to get out of his head. Yeah. All right, so that ends Florida Man Bingo. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but this is good. Willis Wonder says, quit copying me. All right. Our next story is a facepalm story. According to new conspiracy theorists, Codes in the Bible are suggesting that the end of the world is imminent, with the Earth set to be destroyed on April 23rd. One theory suggests that the end time dates back to astrological constellations appearing on November 23rd match the Book of Revelations in 12:1-2. The passage signals the part of the rapture and the second coming of Jesus Christo. Right, sure, now I bring in Jesus, right? The passage reads, "And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on a head of a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and crying out in birth pains and the agony of giving birth." It is thought that Virgo is the woman from the passage. So basically this guy starts to go into astrology, which you guys know how I feel about astrology. The shirt is available in the shop below. But if you guys go look into this, I'm gonna put this this link for you guys right away, because holy shit, the video, it's like Wilford Brimley talking about the end times, dude. It's like Santa Claus has really lost it when you take a look at this. Show you guys. Bam. Gamer News Party has the shirt. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. My mom hates it. Astrology is bullshit. It's such a good shirt. All right. All right, we're gonna move on from this story just for time's sake, because there's a ton to how these all connect together. It gets into Planet Nibiru and Planet X and a bunch of other shit, but it's all based on like astrological alignments, and I don't care that much. Just know that in 5 days, or 6 days, if we all die, that is that they were right, you know. But we may not even make it that far, and you'll find out tonight. All right, it's time for stupid shit. You don't need it, but you might want it. Bah. I've noticed that a lot of people have decided that they kind of everybody's in each other's head tonight. All right. For our first product to show you guys tonight is a $120 real carbon fiber bow tie, in case you decided you wanted to look like a pretentious jackass instead of just a jackass. Apparently you can get $50 in carbon fiber gear money. Tournament says want it. Willis Wonder says I wish I had the money to buy it. Gamer News Party says me too. But yeah, for $120, I don't know if it's worth it, but I guess this guy does look kind of fly, and you're never gonna have that bow tie like get all crinkled, right? It is made from 10 layers of real twill weave carbon fiber. Carbon fiber. The center is wrapped in real black leather cord. It is molded, shaped, not just flat. The sides extend towards forward, which makes it more comfortable. It arrives in a black gift box, and it's handmade in Greece. So, this is a thing that exists. It's a clip-on, though. Is it? Oh, I suppose, yeah. Right, because you can't actually tie carbon fiber, right? How do I roll need on this, right? All right. The next story, or next object I've got here is the Chill-O-Matic automatic beverage chiller. So in case you ever got real tired of carrying around a cooler with all of your drinks in it, you can just get this beer chiller for $25 with free shipping. That allows you to place a single can in it, and then you just turn this little cranky thingy. Why does it make my mouse go away? All right, but you can turn this little crank, right? Or I guess maybe it's on. Oh, it's automatic. You don't have any crank. It's powered. So not only do you need this, but you need batteries and a cooler to carry the ice in. But apparently it will cool a 12-ounce drink ice cold in 60 seconds flat. The automatic system works 240 times faster than a conventional freezer, designed to fit any standard size soda/beer can. It requires 2 AA batteries, and the drink chiller is lightweight and easy to transport. It's award-winning. I could buy a bucket for $1 and ice, right? But just in case anybody wants it, there it is. All right. Our next item is a dragon shower head. In case your shower head was just so boring that you needed to imagine a dragon breathing water on you. They have all sorts of different colors. They're all the same color. Like, they're all just solid color. But you could get a dragon for your shower. All right. Want this? Why want it? I want it. All right. Gotcha. Angry Cicada says, my mom needs this. Oh, we should do that. We get her this for Christmas this year, and she'll never expect it. Does it stack with the shower headlights? I don't know. That would be awesome. You might have to like get a hobby thing to open it, right? But and then like, or what is that called? Dremel, and Dremel in some of the lights. But that could be a pretty cool combo, because then it would be breathing colored fire or colored water, and kind of like some, you know, dragon's breathy type thing. All right, so last time we covered an erotic novel that was called something like A Bitcoin in My Butt. This is a different one by a completely different person. This is Leonard Delaney and his book, Conquered by Clippy, an erotic short story. The description goes like this. Christy Ackerland doesn't need help with anything. So when the world's biggest technology company offers to fly her to a remote location and investigate an alien artifact all by herself, she's all like, I'll do it. That was exactly. She said, the description says she's all like. But the artifact isn't what it seems, and soon an overly helpful giant living paperclip is getting her all bent out of shape. Conquered by Clippy is a 4,000-word short story featuring sexual situations with digital assistance. It's for super mature audiences only. Available... Whoa, it's $0 right now on Kindle Unlimited? Does that mean I have to have, like, Kindle Unlimited? Oh, okay, if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free. But it's $2.99 to buy. If I ever get bored enough, you're gonna make a Google Doc of all the shit for sale, right? I keep all of the PowerPoints, so I can always easily go back and look them up. I also keep all of the show notes, which would be a simple cut and paste operation at some point. How do you have sexual encounters with digital entities? Is that just watching porn? From what I understand, they're digital entities that get brought to life by an alien artifact. If you aren't old enough to hate Clippy, you aren't old enough to read this. If you ever get... Bill Gates has a ghostwriter is what I learned. Exactly. USB ports. All right. And our last item today is live ants, 1 tube, approximately 30 ants, ant farm refill kit. Will live in gel or sand habitat, great for educational classroom or science projects, and kids love ant farms. Now that you guys know that this exists, I can't see how this could go poorly. By the way, Amazon has gift shipping if you would like to gift ship this to people. If you ever decide you need to send a bottle of ants to people. Oh, wait a minute. You guys need the Clippy porn link. Hold on. There's the Clippy story. I sent you a bottle of ants, asshole. All right, now, one of the staples of our show has always been Be the Change, but Be the Change was absolutely boring as fuck for the last, like, month. I've been searching up super old petitions. It's either A, it's just people have moved on, or B, they're getting better at flagging nonsense positions. So I'll find out, right? So Be the Change may be on hiatus for a small amount of time as we get some more content for it going, or I may find something else. I might move to Craigslist and see if I can find some hilarious Craigslist shit or something like that, right? And then we'll wait for Be the Change to be the thing again that people start misusing terribly. So, but that brings us to tonight's main story. If you guys saw the title of today's, who knows what we need? Excellent. If you saw today's title, it's the 41818 conspiracy. So, this is something that's actually buzzing a little bit right now. Although a lot less than I expected it to be buzzing at this point. So it all starts on March 9th. A Twitter user posted a rather disturbing tweet that read, "Okay, I'm sitting in my car right now in front of my house in my car, and this guy started taking pictures of my house with flash, then he walked away. Literally, what the fuck? It's 3 a.m. I am going to die tonight." This is where it all started. This shows a lot more retweets and likes because of what happened next. This was relatively not that big when he originally posted it. But on the 13th of March, that Twitter user strayed away. His name was Strayed Away. Again posted, this time with a tweet stating, "I really need y'all to listen to this voicemail I just got. I am deactivating my cell phone service." The user, who we will come to know as Ty, has since deleted the voicemail recording, but a handful of other users also received it or took it from Ty and posted it online. So I do have this recording. We're going to take a look at it after I pause the super upbeat music here.
Sierra, Delta, Alpha, November, Golf, Echo, Romeo, Sierra, Oscar, Sierra, India, Tango, India, Sierra, Delta, India, Romeo, Echo, Foxtrot, Oscar, Romeo, Yankee, Oscar, Uniform, Tango, Oscar, Echo, Victor,
Excellent,
Alpha,
Curry.
Charlie, Uniform.
I'm glad I'm not the
Alpha,
only one.
Tango, Echo, Bravo, Echo, Charlie, Alpha, Uniform, Tango, India, Oscar, Uniform, Sierra, Tango, Hotel, Echo, Yankee, Alpha.
Squabbly, welcome to the show. You should have been typing? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. I got it, guys. Don't you worry about that. So if you listen to this whole thing, there's a little bit more here. Starts getting into numbers. Here we go.
Oscar, Tango,
Don't worry, I've got it all
Hotel,
recorded.
Uniform, Mike, Alpha, November, 042933964230, Sierra, Oscar.
Anyway, after you take that information and write down the phonetic letters, you get this message. S. Danger. SOS. It is dire for you to evacuate. Be cautious. They are not human. 042933964230. SOS danger. SOS. So, if you take that number and you put that into Google Maps as coordinates, right? You add, you take the first two, you take the first two digits and put a period, a decimal point, then split the number in half, and then take the first two digits to the second half and put two after the 39, I think, or the 96, whatever, put another decimal point. You will get a map, and the map will take you to this position on Google Earth, used as GPS coordinates. It was pointed out by Twitter user JVSTIN Fox, but we'll come back to this map in a minute. So there's coordinates given. Witless Wonder's noticing a couple of things already. Soon after this was pointed out and people started talking about it, the message went a little bit viral. Thai began receiving more messages, like an Indonesian message, which one ran through Google Translate, turned out to be the warning, "End the post you just shared about the recording on your phone." Or the above message, which translates when you use a letter number cipher into "they are taking over." Twitter user Arif Balang entered one of those strings, some of those strings of numbers, to see if they could find anything else that was referencing this data as a website link, and eventually he got a old, I want to say it was either Blogspot or Instagram post that had more cipher information in it once they took a look at it on a source level. They also analyzed the messages on that page that said that last one is, the message specifically said that last one is in perfect Malay. The recorded voicemail on Twitter above is used for classified information which should not be shared to the public. If no action is taken, the issue will be reanalyzed and any type of penalty will be acted upon. Status 85-5612. Twitter user Tribal Rider investigated one of the accounts, HIJJ30, aka April 2x plus, or 2x3 plus 6 plus 6, that messaged Ty, one of the two messages above, and found an account that was just another Twitter account. There was a series of more messages, right? Undarness TV, welcome to the stream. She then started posting about how her phone was beginning to glitch out. There was a whole video for anyone that was listed there that needed to be reversed, right? And once you reverse it, it was a series of Morse code intermixed with the flight recording of Malaysia Flight 340. The last known recording of the flight that was lost a couple of years ago was a simple recording of the people on the crew on the plane speaking with control and saying good night and wishing each other a good flight. That recording was part of the videos that were found on the account that began messaging Ty. Twitter user Scott Grant 917 decoded the Morse code, and one of the Morse codes gives you ETTETEEEETTEE. And if you search for that, it leads you to a fuel cell installation and removal guide for aircraft. So, kind of interesting there. The message related is well related to Stephen Hawking's death. You are not ready to face them was also decoded from the code found in the recording, as Hawking's death is mentioned, and the Morris message was sent the day prior to the day Hawking died. So there are a lot of people who believe that they have cracked what is going on here. One thing you guys should note is in the very first message. Actually, where the hell did the message go? Okay, in the second message that was sent, the only thing that doesn't decode with the letter cipher is 41818. It didn't have the decimal places, and it doesn't. When you're using a letter cipher, that usually means it's a number. 41818 is tomorrow's date. So it's very possible whatever this is could happen tomorrow. People have thought that they have cracked this. Some people say that message that we listened to just a little bit ago is just a Siri recording put through a filter. People believe that they can hear a tap noise at the end. Weightless Wonder's just taking my 9 to work now, right? You need it to fight the Russians. Chad says, and they told me I didn't need an AR-15, right? So this theory gets pretty deep into some other things on the internet. Are you guys familiar with, other than Angry Cicada, are you guys familiar with the Cicada Project? See if we've got anybody in here who knows a little bit about their internet histories. All right, let me grab the cicada information here, resin. Where'd it go? Quite often like that. In all caps. So years ago on Something Awful, YTMND, 4chan, and this was, I'm pretty sure it was just before Reddit. There was a series of crazy internet cryptography clues that were released. 3301, yeah, 3301, Cicada 3301. Just like that, yeah. Gamer News Party says, I remember some stuff from back in high school, probably was the CIA, to be honest. Yeah, that was definitely theorized, right? So it was like the Cicada Project all started with a simple post on like 4chan or some forum or something like that. Superhero Zero says, better chatter, or whoop, here we go. I missed that name. Let me, Uranus Dev. I want to make sure I get that right. Let's see. I can get my list from Elements. Elements will tell me what happened. I apologize for the slow welcome to the crew here. We gotta mess this up pretty bad. Earndarius TV. Welcome to the Illuminati. Thanks for the follow, taking over the world one follow at a time. There we go. But Superhero Zero says, other chatter on other subjects has suggested that something could be going to happen within the next day or two. Yes, I mean that is the number 41818 is tomorrow's date, and that is definitely a number that is thrown around in this conspiracy a lot. But the Cicada files were a group of cryptography projects that if you found one on a forum somewhere, you could easily get sucked in, depending on how far you could follow into it. There were people who lost their jobs trying to answer these questions, and there are people who either were if it was a hoax, then it was the guys who put it on would, make a big deal about it and start, talking about how they're, they lost their families and, this thing is taking over their lives. Or people did get so far into it, they eventually just disappeared from the internet. So maybe they got picked up by whatever this nefarious, project Cicada put together. Tarek Masta says, do I believe in Pizzagate? I don't. I mean, there's very little information for me that I've seen that has any sort of, information to back it up. Politicians are smarter than that by just enough to not do that specifically. And the information in what I've seen, right now, I'm not saying that the real information isn't out there, but the information that I've seen doesn't lead me to believe it. But so Cicada was a project, things happened. Do I believe the fluoride is making the frogs gay? I don't think it's the fluoride making the frogs gay. All right, let's see. Superhero Zero, welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. But the hacker 4chan is never wrong, except that damned hacker. Anyway, Cicada has started getting tied up in this whole 41818 setup here. They've been sending the users going by Cicada 3301 and a couple of other usernames have begun posting other cryptic messages. Those cryptic messages are things like just sections of Morse code in dashes and dots. Like there have been one of their usernames, Iriga. 6+6+6 Iriga, BJWVM, TZM, and a bunch of other random letters. Eventually, just putting it into Google search and things like that leads you to things like material data sheets for specific pieces of metal used in aircraft. Other people are what was it? TZM alloy, molybdenum is a specific alloy that they were leading to. Let's see, what was a couple of the other things here? There were screenshots of DMs posted from these users to other people who are following these things. Some of the DMs saying things like they are taking over for a 1818. The Malaysian government gave a U.S. company 3 months to find it, and they will give them $70 million if they do. They started looking January 17th, 2018. The next 3 months later would be April 17th. The next day it will happen if the U.S. doesn't find the plane. This was one of the messages that was set up. Lots of random Latin texts. Gamer News Party says it's probably the CIA fishing for new recruits or something similar. I mean, very possible. I didn't see that. TechRick Vasta says we need to catch this 4chan guy. Exactly. We've got to catch him. Some of the Latin text reading omnes mos mori, which means all will die, or adilapalladam de malum, which means dispel the bad. The user Ty, who originally was the first to post everything about the 41818 posts, has deleted and changed the name of his account many times since then. Some people think it's, to avoid all of the controversy that's going on. But I have a separate theory here. What if Ty, the OP here, was a hero that was chosen to save us? Did they delete their tweets in order to focus on being the hero that will save us from whatever this threat is? Or are we going to be missing that chosen hero? There's a lot of other things in this that people have said, save the cheerleader, save the world. I miss Heroes so much. That show was awesome until the 3rd season. Jeremy Bader says, no, I got this. Let's see, lots of other posts and messages can be found about this, but we're really just gonna have to wait until tomorrow to find out whether or not we're going to be taken over by aliens. As you recall, the first couple of messages says they're not human. So if this theory has any legs to stand on, we're getting taken over or something, right? This one has an easy way to prove whether or not it's going to be real or fake, and that is wait till tomorrow, and then wait till Thursday for the next Skeptalk Live, when we cover whether or not our new alien overlords are going to let us continue our podcast. Gamer News Party says, if aliens come, I'm not going to work. Man Bear Pig says, shit's going down. Jeremy Better says, I may not be the hero you want, but I'm the hero you deserve. That is a shitty one. Darius TV says that the gay frogs, they're all behind this. Curry sauce, don't do this. Don't do what? Witless Wonder says, damn, couldn't troll you with Morse code. Oh, does it not let you put Morse code in? All right, well, we're getting near the end of the show, so I'm going to do a couple of things I haven't done before. I'm going to thank the guys who are hosting me right now. Pretty Random Network, Top Shelfers, Primo Trio, Gnarls Blargley, Orange Dragon, and Taint Slap. Thank you very much for those hosts all day today. Journeyman says, you could put in did that whatnot. Gamer News Party says, lies. Willis Wonder says, went through the effort to type end your stream and we will show mercy, and it wouldn't let me post it. Oh, that's a lot of work. I'm sorry. Guys, I just got a message that said end your stream and we will show mercy. Fuck that. I ain't ending no stream. No mercy. Curry Clam Cakes gives a face here, PogChamp. So for those of you who are interested in more Skeptalk live action, I would have been invited once again to be on our Stream Allies stream tonight. Lil Dobby 666 is going to be doing a stream on prepping tonight, and I'm going to be there because you could say I've been preparing for it. Darius TV says, end your stream, we will show mercy. No mercy. Willis Wonder says, no ending streams, no mercy. Bring it on, you alien bastards. Wilbur is ready for you. Wilbur's always ready. Journeyman Bader says, you ain't going out like no bitch, right? That's standard operating procedure. Never go out like a bitch. Curry Sauce says, is it the Signs aliens? I've only seen Signs once, and I was very drunk. Resin Sheriff says that pun was bad, and it was. Still lies, Gamer News Party says. I don't see any lies. But I think that's all the news I've got for you guys today. It's always a little harder to stretch out a solo show because I don't have anybody to bounce off of, but I'm really happy we made it to 8:54, which is awesome. Thank you guys for joining me. So once again, join me on our Stream Allies channel later tonight if you're interested in chatting about some fun stuff. I am going to go take a leak before I have to go be, on for another couple hours. So thank you guys for joining me. We're going to play the outro here a little quick. Where did it go? Oh, have you guys ever seen my other video? You guys should tell me what you think about this video. I got two, right? Let me, based on air, you're late. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, I'm headed over to Dobby's here in a little bit. I'm going to show you guys this other video that I have. I want you guys to tell me which of these two you like the best, because I'm trying to figure out which one to use more. I like them both. Let me end the slideshow there. That doesn't need to be there right now. And then, okay, it's this one. Which one is which? Pretzel, you don't need to be open either. Oh, don't open and hit film. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's going to take forever. Oh, no. Don't open and hit film. There. Just open with VLC player, you jerk. Oh, apparently they just don't open. Whatever. All right, well, I'm just gonna play this one, and I'll play the other one for you guys later. Good night, everybody.